Hi everyone, this is Omar with TravelSummary.com. Today I'm changing it up in a couple of different ways. One is I moved from one side of the couch to the other. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of a better view. You can see my backyard. I live in Southern California and the weather is beautiful. It's the end of January and for some reason it's 81 degrees. It's going to cool back down though, but I'm enjoying the sunshine while it lasts, and hopefully you guys can too by at least looking at it no matter where you are in the country or in the world. Today I want to go over a couple of tips and tricks. That's the other thing that I'm doing a little bit different. I've been talking a lot about credit cards and how to use those, but today I want to discuss some tips and tricks that I have found very useful, things that I get a lot of questions on over the years that I've been doing this. Things like airline mistake fares and hotel misprices. How do you find those? How do you make sure you're able to jump on them while the deal is still good and while the deal is still hot? I'm also going to go over how things that you should actually watch out for. There is a lot of misinformation out there, especially on blogs, and I know some of the popular ones are not necessarily looking out for your best interest because they're more interested in making money. So I want to go over some of those things to look out for. So the first thing that I want to go over is mistake fares and hotel mispricing and things like that. Things that actually can save you a ton of money and get you a huge amount of value if you're able to take advantage of them. For example, last year, the most famous of these mistake fares was a Cathay Pacific first class mistake fare. It was from the US to Hong Kong, or Vietnam actually, and it was first class, it was round trip, and depending on what airport you wanted to leave out of, it was between $800 and about $1,200. Now that's a phenomenal price. $800 to $1,200 is the price of an economy ticket or premium economy, and first class on Cathay Pacific is something special. I've flown it myself and it is fantastic. It's an amazing thing. So the question is, how do you actually find these deals? There's no doubt that they actually show up on blogs. I have blogged about them before. Blogs like The Points Guy and View from the Wing, 1 Mile at a Time, and a number of other websites and blogs are posting about these types of deals. But keep in mind, these people only find out about these deals and have time to write about them way after the fact. So generally it gets posted somewhere on the internet, and let's say a writer from one of these blogs, they come upon it. First thing they're going to do, if you think about it logically, is they're going to look for their flights that they can book on their own. They're searching and searching and searching, and who knows how long it'll take for them to actually find a flight that they like on dates that they like and actually book that fare. Then they're going to go write about it, right? So that's what any person would do. They're more interested in their own travel booking. They want to be able to write that Cathay Pacific first class review later on and how amazing it was. They want to get written about in all these magazines. Oh, hey, I flew this first class flight for dirt cheap. Why don't you do the same exact thing? Follow me and I'll tell you how. The thing that they always leave out, of course, is that they're busy booking these and they're going to write about it later on. So you want to go to the source. And like I mentioned earlier, there's generally just usually some guy that just posts about it on somewhere on the internet. But there are some resources, and if you have social media, this will be a lot more helpful to you, because where is the fastest way to spread information? In my opinion, it is social media, and more specifically, it is on Twitter. So if you have a Twitter account, then great, you can utilize that to find a lot of these deals, and I'll tell you exactly how. If you don't have a Twitter account, I highly recommend you get one. I was very skeptical of Twitter. I did not see the point of it, but I came to learn over the years. I think I got my Twitter account in 2012, something like that, around the time when I started my blog. And over the years, I've really come to appreciate it, and it's one of my most frequented social media sites now, that along with Instagram. But I use Twitter a lot more because, like most people, I want to know about the news, and there's nowhere faster, like I mentioned, to spread the news than Twitter right now, at least not to my knowledge. The same principle applies for travel and for spreading travel news and things like these mistake fares. So there's a couple of really specific places that you can go to look for these types of mistake fares. First of all, I think the biggest of them all is going to be Flyer Talk. So Flyer Talk is basically a bunch of forums that is dedicated just for travel. It's been around for a very long time, and it can be very confusing to navigate these days, and a lot of the people in these forums are not very nice people to deal with anymore. It didn't used to be like that, but it is like that now. But there are a couple of different places on Flyer Talk that are relatively easy to navigate and to see these types of deals. For example, there are premium fare deals. If you want to look for business and first class flights, there's a thread called Premium Fare Deals. I'll link to it in the description, and I'll talk to you about it a little bit more also. But basically what it is, somebody's just searching for a flight. You know, they want to fly from here to India, for example, and they are searching for their specific dates, and they come across a random, extremely cheap flight, and they want to tell everybody about it. So they go on to Flyer Talk, and they say, hey, I just searched for this flight, and I found a lot of availability at this price. It's a phenomenal price. I just wanted to tell everybody about it. That's great. People do that all the time. You'll be surprised actually how much it happens. The only problem with that is, obviously, if you're not looking to go to India, it's not very useful for you. Or if you're looking to fly from London to Hong Kong, then obviously an LA to India flight is not very useful for you. So it can be a little bit difficult to navigate from that perspective. But again, a lot of people, they just want to say that, hey, you know, I just want to know about all these deals. That way I can decide, maybe I can plan a trip around it. And that's, I think, the case for a lot of travelers. They're willing to plan a trip around an exceptional flight fare rather than, you know, look for something that's really expensive to go exactly where they want to go. They'll work with it. And that's my experience. That's my experience with a lot of different people. So if you can be one of those people, this is one of the main places that you should search. Now, the hard part is that you don't get notified. There's no way, no notification system on these forums for you to get notified for all of these flights whenever somebody posts something or something that's relevant to you. And that is where Twitter comes into this conversation. Now, there are different people, and I don't know who set these things up, but I don't know whether it's a person or a bot. But basically, what it is whenever somebody posts on Flyer Talk on this Premium Fare Deals thread, it can automatically post a tweet on Twitter. And one of the cool features about Twitter is that it does have a notification system. So that if you're following certain accounts, for example, at Travel Summary, then as soon as that person tweets, let's say I tweet something and you have notifications turned on, then as soon as I tweet something, you'll get an automatic notification that I tweeted something and it'll show you what it is. So if you have one of these robots, or if it is a person, I think it is actually a robot because it does post very quickly. If you're following one of these robots and you have notifications turned on, then as soon as somebody posts their deal on Flyer Talk, it'll post to @PremiumFares and you'll get notified for it. So again, that Twitter handle is @PremiumFares. So I'll put it on the screen also, and I'll also put a link to it down below. It's one of the most useful things. Now, again, keep in mind that it is for fares that happen all around the world. Sometimes there are fares that are useful. Sometimes somebody's posting about a first class fare that's still $4,000. So you're going to get notified for all of those also. Again, it's not very particular and very specific in that way. You can't really drill down and specialize how you want to get notified or what you want to get notified about, but it's better than nothing. So I recommend you follow this account, and I'll show you exactly how you can follow somebody and how you can turn on notifications. All right, so I'm going to cut to twitter.com right now so I can show you exactly how you can follow and turn on notifications. So go on to Twitter. Hopefully you already have your account set up. If you don't, go ahead and set one up. In the search box, what you're going to want to do is you're going to type in @PremiumFares, and there's only going to be one that shows up, hopefully. So if you click on that, then you'll see that this is their page. You can see, if you scroll down, all the different fares that they've been posting recently. And again, these are all directly from Flyer Talk. They include a link to the Flyer Talk page that talks about it in particular. So first thing you want to do is you're going to want to click the follow button. After you click follow, it'll say following, and then there will be just to the left of it a little bell with a plus sign that appears. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and click on that. What that does is that turns on notifications. If you hover over it also, hopefully it'll say that. But now that notifications are turned on, if you have the Twitter app, for example, it'll send you a notification. It'll send you a push notification every single time that one of these gets posted. That's how I find out about it. And I think that's the easiest way. It's the fastest way. And again, there are going to be a lot of fares, more often than not actually, that are of no interest to you. But it is better than nothing. And it is one of the fastest ways to find out about deals as they happen. The second best way to find out about them, let's say that you're not interested in premium cabin fares, you're just interested in the cheapest flights. You fly economy and you're okay with that, and you just want to get the cheapest flights and you want it to be a little bit more targeted than that. For me, the absolute best way is the flight deal. So again, they have a Twitter handle, it's @theflightsdeal, and I'll go over that as well. But basically what their website is dedicated to is to finding deals that are exceptional. And they actually have a way to determine what they consider to be exceptional. You can look at it on their website, how they determine something to be cheaper than normal. So if you go to their website, you'll see that they actually have it split up by city as well. So they'll have Los Angeles, they'll have New York, they'll have Houston, number of other cities. And these are fares that are generally economy fares. And they're going to be from that city to wherever. So again, there's not a lot of targeted things that you can do here. You know, if you're looking to go to Russia, for example, there's not going to be something that is easily able to notify you just of Russia. That's really specific. I don't think you're going to have a lot of success with that. It's not a good game plan. So if that's what you're thinking, then I would get that out of your head immediately. Rather, I would just follow these accounts and go to their website and see what can you actually plan a trip around. Because when there's a trip from, let's say you're just looking for domestic travel from LA to New York for $200, that's an exceptional deal. That's something that you're going to want to take advantage of if possible. And that's something that you're going to want to know about. And the flight deal is one of those websites that can let you know about it. Same thing if you want to go to Hawaii, they do international, all kinds of things. There's so many international trips that I've come across from their website and from their Twitter account where they are able to get you economy class round trip from the United States to, let's say, for example, Southeast Asia for $500 or less. Same thing for Europe. Africa and the Middle East is a little bit more expensive in general, but still they only post when it's an exceptional deal. So they're one of the best resources that I've found. So what about actually booking these flights, right? So let's say you found something on premium fare deals or you found something on the flight deal and you actually want to go book this flight. What is the best way to actually do that? Generally, there's going to be links in anything that you read online. So generally on Flyer Talk, there's going to be a link. Hopefully, if the person that posted is helpful, they'll post a link to that actual flight that they found. The flight deal always has links posted, and generally those are affiliate links. I have no problem with that. They provide a useful service. So if you want to support them, you can. But generally, the best way that I have found to book these is on Google Flights. So if you go onto Google Flights, they have almost every airline available, and you can search for specific dates, and it also has a calendar. And this is one of the most useful features, is that when you type in, let's say, a departure date, it brings up in the calendar all the different prices for all the other dates if you wanted to select your return date. So maybe we can run through an example, but basically you can find the dates in which it'll be cheaper to fly. And I think that's a really useful feature, and Google Flights is good at that. You don't necessarily book from Google Flights. It's just kind of like an aggregator. It knows what those costs are going to be. Then it recommends where it actually found that flight. So whether it's the Singapore Airlines website, whether it's Expedia or something like that. And generally what I recommend doing is going to a website that's called Cashback Monitor. Now, I know this is getting a little bit complicated, but what you want to do is you want to find the best deal for yourself, right? So like I mentioned, the flight deal, they have affiliate links, right? They want you to book through their Expedia or Priceline or whatever it may be, their link, because they'll get a commission if you book something. That's okay. If you want to support them, there's no problem with that. But I want you to know that generally when there's a website that is paying a commission, you can get that commission directly to yourself, or at least a portion of it, by going through a separate link. Now, Cashback Monitor is a place where you can find deals that are like this, cashback deals or points deals, if you want to go and earn a few extra American Airlines miles, for example. So if you go to cashbackmonitor.com, you type in Expedia or you type in Priceline or whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for airfare, hotels, whatever it is, just type it in there. It'll tell you exactly how many points that hotel or airline or website is paying, how many points or how much percentage cash back, and where you can get it from, whether it's Top Cash Back, whether it's a website like American Airlines Shopping Portal, anything like that. There's a number of them listed there. There are literally dozens of them. So that is the best way to get a deal for yourself. So that's the way that I recommend booking. So find something on Google Flights. If it's not specific to a particular airline's website, if you can book it on a thing like Expedia or directly from the airline, then search Cashback Monitor first, because that's how you're going to find the best deal. So I talked a lot about mistake fares with regards to airfares, but I haven't talked really about hotels yet. Hotels are a lot more difficult. There are not a lot of resources that you can look up and look through in order to find these things, but there are a few, and so I'm going to go over those right now. Flyer Talk does have a hotel deals thread, just like it does for airfare deals. So you can check that out. I haven't found a Twitter handle that is similar like the Premium Fares one that posts every single one of these that gets posted. Hotel deals are, again, like I said, very rare. Somebody has to find something and be willing to post it somewhere. And generally that is not a very common thing. So Flyer Talk, again, is one of those that you can use. There's also a website and a Twitter handle called Extreme Hotel Deals. They used to post a lot of the ones that get posted on Flyer Talk and on other resources. They used to be really good. I haven't used them myself personally in a long time. I just haven't found that much use for hotel misprices. Usually they're on very specific dates. So I haven't been using it as much, but Extreme Hotel Deals is another resource that you could use. There are certain places where you can go. Flyer Talk is one of them, again, that has specific deals to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is one of the, obviously a huge tourist destination, especially in the US. And so a lot of people are looking to go there. And so a lot of people want to know about deals. And there's a lot of websites devoted to Las Vegas hotel deals. And so there is a specific thread on Flyer Talk just for Las Vegas deals as well. Now, one thing that I do want you guys to watch out for, it's something that I did mention earlier. Keep in mind that anytime that you go to a website, usually there's somebody that's trying to sell you something. So YouTube is trying to sell you ads, right? If you go to a blog, they're trying to sell you affiliate links to a credit card or to their link for Expedia or whatever it is, because they're going to earn a commission off of that, right? It's very rare, unfortunately, now that people just do it out of the goodness of their hearts. They want to get paid for it. That's not a bad thing. I have no problem with affiliate marketing. I have a problem with how some people do that. Now, like I mentioned, the flight deal, they post and they very respectfully ask you to use their affiliate links so that they get that commission. That's great. If you want to support them because they're providing an extremely good value to you, valuable information to you, that's great. I've done it myself because they provide fantastic information that I would not have been able to find on my own. But also keep in mind, like I mentioned earlier, there are websites like Cashback Monitor that allow you to earn that commission generally on your own as cashback or in points, things like that. So most airlines have a program that is like a shopping portal or shopping mall online where you can actually shop and earn miles directly through that program. So American Airlines has it, United Airlines has it, Alaska Airlines, a number of others also have it. If you prefer to earn cash back, websites like Top Cashback and various others like it exist. And generally I found Top Cashback to be the best. But what you want to do is every single time, let's say you found your flight that you want to book, a mistake fare, and you want to book it on Expedia. Great. What you want to do is, let's do it right now. Let's go to Cashback Monitor. You can just Google it. It's cashbackmonitor.com. And what you want to do is type in the search box, Expedia. So if you type in Expedia, there's a number of different options, but you want to generally click on the first one, Expedia. And it brings you to a section or a page that shows a number of different options, probably more than a dozen. The first section is going to be cash back. Second one is going to be travel miles and points. Next one is going to be credit card points, and the other is other points. So let's say that you prefer to earn cash back. It looks like the best bonus is going to be Mr. Rebates, Lemony, and Dollar Dig, all at about 2%. If you want to earn miles, you can actually earn United Airlines miles, 1 mile per dollar. Let's see, what else? Credit card points. Wells Fargo Rewards offers 2 points per dollar, so that's something that's useful. And Rakuten is kind of a different one. It's up to 8 points per dollar. So again, you're going to have to check the specifics on that. Also on cashback, by the way, I mentioned Top Cashback is one of my favorites. They do offer up to 6%, but again, you're going to have to look at the details of that. Same thing with Be Frugal. Those are two of the more popular ones. So just keep those in mind. But again, you could click through on your favorite blog or on the Flight Deals website. You will give them a kickback if you do that. But you can generally earn that on your own directly over here as well. This also works for hotels. If you want to search, for example, IHG hotels. So IHG is going to be hotels like Crowne Plaza and Intercontinental. Generally, if you search on this one, you can see that you can earn both American miles and Delta miles with IHG stays. So what if you search Marriott? Marriott is one that actually has a ton of options where you can earn points, not just in their program, but you can earn it on miles if you want. So they offer United, they offer Virgin Atlantic, American Airlines, Delta. If you want to earn cash back, then that's actually the way that I would recommend doing it, is because it's a hotel program. You want to earn points in their program as well. If you click through a website like Top Cash Back, generally you'll be booking directly on their website and you'll earn points and points with them as well. I hope you guys found this useful. I tried to go over as many as I could that made sense to me for kind of a beginner to intermediate level. If you're an advanced person, then I don't know how you made it through this video, but you probably already knew all these things, or you probably know different ways to do these things. But I'm curious actually, are there other resources that you guys use that you find useful or more useful than some of the ones that I've mentioned? I mentioned to somebody before Wikipedia, they mentioned that they prefer to use things like a website called Plane Spotter to actually find out where airlines are flying. Other people prefer to use ITA Matrix rather than Google Flights. Everybody has their own way of doing things, but I went over the ones that I think are the most useful, the ones that are the easiest one, or where you get the most quote-unquote bang for your buck in terms of the amount of time that you have to put in. But I would love to hear your input as well, so please let me know what that is. If you guys found this video useful, I would really appreciate you giving me a subscribe and a like. And like I mentioned, I actually do want to hear your thoughts. Maybe I can feature some of the more useful tips that you guys provide in a future video. Until next time, happy travels.